All right, guys, today I'm going to answer a question that comes up a lot, and I get this from everyone who's trying to build their timeline beautifully on Instagram, but it appeals to every single demographic. So the debate today is, should you focus on your timeline or should you focus on your content that's going to appear in stream? All right, now before we get started, hit that subscribe button, follow me. I'm trying to put out videos like this every single day that give you some digital marketing tips and digital marketing value. And at the end, if I did anything good or anything bad, write it in the comments below. I'm trying to create and correct as we go through this journey. In feed or on timeline? It's a great debate, but every single platform is different, every single situation is different. And this is where I want to go with this. Let's take Instagram, for example. A lot of people focus on making their timeline really, really beautiful. Yet, all of your followers and all your true believers are going to consume your content in their feed. As they're scrolling their feeds, they're going to see your content, they're going to engage with it. So which one's more important? The answer is they're both important, and it depends on which niche you're in. I am going to say there's a slight advantage towards content in feed, but we'll see as we work through this video how you guys feel about it, and we'll make that final verdict at the end. All right, I'm going to start with timeline. Timeline is important. You want to look at your brand guide, you want to brand all your posts the same, you want to use the same filters, the same colors. If you look at any artist out there, any musician, all of their pictures are beautiful and they all appear on the timeline really nice. But what that does is, remember that when you're posting to your timeline and people are scrolling it, you want your timeline to be beautiful if you convert your followers and your audience on timeline. And there's a lot of artists that do that, where they'll be on Spotify or they'll be on YouTube and they'll have their Instagram link at the bottom. Someone will click on the Instagram link and come to their timeline. That means they're going to be scrolling through the timeline to convert their audience in that location, which again, that'll give a lot of value to what those photos look like and what that timeline looks like. That is in contrast to the people that then produce that motivational content, that content that goes out into stream and gets out organically far and wide on Instagram. Those type of people are going to convert their followers in feed as people are searching organically through the stream. So it's less important on what their timeline looks like and more important what each individual post looks like in relation to who's going to see it. Now, the reason that the feed gets a higher level of, for me, gets a higher level of attention than timeline is because the feed is where people consume the content. The timeline is where you show off the content, but the feed and the stream, when people are scrolling, is where they consume the content. So even once you get your true believers, even once you have your audience and your followers, people are going to consume that content as they're scrolling through their stream and through their feed. If that's where they're consuming it, that's the more important of the content. I'm not saying that the timeline photos are not important on Instagram. I'm not saying that you can't brand it and make it look perfect throughout. However, when you really drill down, you're going to realize that your engagement and focusing on not getting deranked on platforms is going to be because you're creating really, really good content in stream for the feed. If you're throwing out something onto the timeline that doesn't look that good, just because it's going to look good on the timeline, recognize that you may get less engagement on that post and it may affect you in the long run as you try to make more content on a regular basis. All right, I just talked about Instagram, but let's apply that to any platform. Let's apply it to LinkedIn. First of all, LinkedIn doesn't have a timeline. You'll have an activity section, but when people come onto your profile, they'll see your most recent activity. So LinkedIn is one of the platforms that you're only focusing on the feed, on the stream as people are scrolling through. So it wins there. Facebook is another one. Facebook now, it's not like Instagram where it's split into threes, really nice with the photos that you can create that brand. Facebook takes longer when you're on profile to scroll down, but obviously you're still going to try to relate all your posts to your brand. Still, at the end of the day, the content is then consumed in the feed and in the stream, which makes that feed and stream for Facebook way more important as well. Twitter, same thing. Pinterest is another one though where we can then look at timeline. Pinterest on your boards, your timeline and your boards are important. What people are seeing, how they look, how they fit into your brand is uber important. It is going to get consumed in feed and in stream and in the search sections as you go through, but at the end of the day, you do want to have beautiful boards, and that is going to play a prevalent factor. Maybe on Pinterest the boards are more important, than it getting consumed in feed, but we can debate that later. The last I'm going to talk about is TikTok. TikTok's brand new. Your content appearing on the For You page is much more important than what it looks like when it's on your profile, when it's on your timeline. So produce content that's native and authentic to TikTok, that's going to do well on the For You page. Do well for you and get more organic traction, more engagement, more shares. In the end, that's way more important at this point in time than it is of making a beautiful timeline on your profile. And you'll notice that from all the popular creators. There's very few that are focusing on that right now. And the ones that are still doing well, but it's not playing as big of a factor as appearing well in stream. All right, guys, I'm going to close with the video there. I want your guys' opinion on this one. Comment below. Tell me which side of the debate you're on, and tell me why. We're going to keep debating it. I think there's going to be way more videos down the road for specific platforms that I'm going to have to talk about this more on. And at the end of the day, hit that follow button. I'm trying to make content like this every single day. I hope it's providing you value. I'm trying to create and correct every single day. And I'd love for you guys to be along for the journey.